Now I just did a review of Pat Dorsey's tying and fishing tailwater flies. Don't worry if you didn't watch that, I'll link to it at the end. But I thought it would be appropriate for us to tie one of them. Stick around. Hello everybody, welcome to Savage Flies. I'm Matt, thanks for stopping by. Now about this Pat Dorsey book, I didn't count all the flies in it, but I would say it's predominantly nymphs. There are a handful of dry flies, and since I'm kind of a dry fly guy, I'm going to start with a dry fly. And the one I picked to do out of this is the Puterbaugh Caddis. Now this thing was created in 1964 by Don Puterbaugh of Salida, Colorado. Now, he was pretty much a legend, a guide for a long time, a very well-renowned fly tyer. Now, he created this really with two goals. He wanted a really high floater and one that you could see through some fast and riffled water. And I think he got it with this one, and Pat Dorsey says this is his favorite adult caddis pattern, and if it's a go-to pattern for Pat Dorsey, then it certainly is for me too. Now, it's not a hard one to tie. I think you're gonna like it. Let's give it a shot. So there it is in the vise, the Puterbaugh Caddis. Common sizes for this, 14 to 18. I'm going to tie it on a size 14. It's a standard length barbless dry fly hook. Let's get that in there. And black thread. I'm going to use a 70 denier. I'm going to put a base down all the way to the start of the bend. Now take your thread back up to a little bit in front of the midway point. Let's say about right there. Take some 2mm black foam and about a little, I'd say a little bit less than a hook gap, and I'm going to catch it in right about the midway point, and we'll trim the back in a minute, but this will have a tendency to want to spin on you. So if you cheat at all, cheat a little bit toward your side, which is so your thread wraps will kind of naturally spin it toward the opposite side. And after you get several wraps, hopefully it won't spin anymore on you. Okay. Now I have seen some folks put a drop of super glue on those thread wraps right there to try to get this laying flat. But in Pat Dorsey's book, he does not do that. He just has it flared up a little bit. But he does trim it about just a little bit past the bend of the hook. So let's try that, see how that looks for us right there. I think that's going to look just fine. Now take some standard elk hair. Just small clump of this. Whatever clump you think you need, probably take a little bit less. Put it in your stacker, and 3 magic taps, and voila, it's perfectly stacked. And if you believe that, I guess you're kind of gullible because I stacked that before I even push record on the camera. So I got my thread hanging where I want to catch this in, and I want this to be just a little bit longer than the foam. I'm going to switch hands and then try to catch it in. I'm going to do a pinch wrap right up on top, and the front's going to flare. That's fine. Try not to let the back roll around on you, and it's okay if it flares too. I'm pulling this thread about as tight as I can pull it without breaking it. So let's see if that's going to stay on top. For the most part it is. What's fisheye view right there? I think that's going to be fine. Now let's trim all this up front. If you can get it in one whack, great. If not, just do your little hack at it a few times, a few snips till you get it. And then maybe you can get a little taper right here so we can lay a flat base down to wrap this front hackle. I got a couple of rogue fibers here I need to trim. Get out of there, little buddy. Okay, now I'm going to smooth this out here in just a second. So my goal so far is, keep that foam on top of the hook and then keep this elk hair on top of the foam. Don't want it spinning around too much. If you do have some going on the sides, you can trim them and not worry about it if it's not too bad. So I'm going to take a few tighter wraps up here and just try to build a smooth taper. It will help me to wrap the hackle. Okay, I spent a few extra wraps just trying to make that underlayer smooth. That will help the hackle when we wrap it around. I'm not going to put this in my hackle pliers. I'm just going to pull it around till I get about what I think is the right size. And then I will strip some of the fibers off right there to get a little bare stem. And I'll cut that off. That'll be my tie-in point. Now, if you can manage it, try to get the concave side toward the hook, and that will help the fibers come out perpendicular to the fly when you're tying it. So we're gonna wrap about 5, maybe 6 turns. It's a pretty bushy hackle. And if you don't have that underbody right there smooth, it's not necessarily going to lay as prettily as you would like. So let's see, I think that's 3. I'm gonna do at least 5 here if I can get them. All right, don't want to get too greedy and start crowding my eye. I think we're going to be fine right there, and I think that was 5 wraps. That is going to be a bushy enough front hackle right there. That might even be 1 wrap too many, but you know what? It's going to fish. It's going to float. It's a good dry dropper rig. So let's pull this back just a little bit, give us a little bit of room right here for our whip finish. I don't want to go too far back, but I also don't want to push these fibers back. So I think we got some room for a whip finish right there. Let's do that, and then we might have a little bit of cleanup. I see 1 fiber sticking forward right there, at least 1. So let's do a 4 turn right here and see what we have. Yeah, a couple fibers going up. Oh, I nicked my thread right there, but it's a good thing I'm done with the whip finish. Just gonna saw that off. Holy cow. You know, see that crazy thread right there? But you know what? Our head cement will take care of that. Just do a little bit of cleanup right here. I don't very often tie perfect flies. As you can see, here's another one. Not really perfect. Now, for the cleanup, take a look at what the fish is gonna see. They're gonna see that. Are they gonna see enough of that wing? I think so. If you had too much of it going around, you might just reach in here and trim some of these off the side. But in this case, I'm not. I want to put a drop of head cement on this and call it done. So that's it, everybody. There's all the techniques for the Puterbaugh Caddis. Pretty nifty pattern, not too hard to tie, but just be careful on your wing and your hackle, and I'm sure you'll do just fine. So that's it, everybody. I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Hello everybody, welcome to Savage Flies. I'm Matt, thanks for stopping by. Was that too energetic? I don't know if, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's try that again. Hello everybody. Hello, one more time. 3, don't need a countdown, just start over. Hello, God, straight face. Calm. Hello everybody. That was still too damn loud. Okay. Hello everybody. Oh, am I going to be doing another laughing fit? Oh shit. Okay. Calm, start over. I can do this. Hello everybody. I still can't do it. Oh shoot. Stop laughing. All right. So the pattern, don't start with that. Just go into it. Okay. Now about this Pat Dorsey book, I would say it's mostly, because I didn't count them, because I don't know what the hell I'm going to say next. I should probably write a script. Blah, 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 blah. Now about this Pat Dorsey book, I didn't count all the flies in it, but I would say it's predominantly nymphs. Now he created this with 2 goals really. Very blah, blah, blah. All right, gotta make something work.